Everything I'm about to tell you is true. Malaysian custom says that sacrificing a goat can bring about good luck. So the locals seek out the largest banyan tree they can find, and a high priestess makes a sacrifice. This is how you protect yourself in the jungle. The one thing you want to do to protect yourself is never call out somebody's name. According to legend, if you call out someone's name, the tree spirits can grab that name and literally repeat that name later. So you're out on your own and you hear somebody say your name. I'm over here. So you start going this way. So what you have to do if this happens, you got a piece of vine, you make a circle out of it, you step through the circle, you say your own name, and you reclaim your name. Every tribal council, I say fire represents life. Your identity is represented by your fire. Since the merger, every person voted off the island has had their torch mysteriously blown out by the wind. And without anyone noticing, we had to relight it so it could be ceremoniously snuffed out instead. Also at tribal council, I started blowing this conch shell. Okay, folklore says that the headhunters, when they would come back from their headhunting, they would blow the conch shell, and the rain gods would release a storm to cleanse them of all their sins that they had committed for the people that they had beheaded. What has happened at every tribal council? It's rain. The last thing is probably the most beautiful thing about island life, involves snakes. The truth is that when a snake comes to your camp, it is actually bringing you good luck. If you treat the snake with respect, it will bring you good luck. But if you disrespect or taunt a snake, it'll bring you bad luck. Joel can attest to that. He chased a pit viper away from the Pagan camp. His fate was sealed. Later that night, Joel was voted off the island. The most important thing right now is if you have listened carefully, I've given you everything you need to know to win tonight's immunity challenge. Take the camera, pass it down. Your immunity challenge tonight is to go into the jungle, and there you'll find 5 masks for each one of you. Behind each mask is a question. Take the video camera, point it at yourself, record the answer. When you're finished, take the mask with you. First one back with all the correct answers wins immunity. Let's do it. This is for immunity. Win this, you're going to the final 4. Survivors ready. Go!
What is one event that has foreshadowed the departure of most of the survivors from Tribal Council? Their torches going out at the council.
How can you turn the good luck from a visiting snake into bad luck?
Don't bother it, don't torment it.
Not taunting it or anything.
Don't taunt it, don't do anything to it.
It's one.
What will the spirits do when they hear the conch shell? I don't know.
What will the spirits do when they hear the conch shell? They'll cause it to rain to cleanse the sins of the headhunters.
Okay, if the spirits cause you to become lost in the jungle, what 2 things should you do to find your way home?
Say your name and step through a hoop and vines.
Say your name, and it will be all cleared up.
What is the one event that has overshadowed the departure of most of the survivors from Tribal Council? I don't know.
According to legend, what must you do to respect the spirits in the banyan tree?
Kill a goat.
Drain the blood from the goat.
And pour the blood around in a circle.
If the spirits cause you to become lost in the jungle, what should you do to find your way home? I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have all the answers?
We do.
Yeah, let me see it. 4 for 4. Last one. I guess you get to keep this. There you go.
Good job, Ty.
Nice job, Wiggles, all right. Okay, here's the story. First settlers were prisoners brought over here from Great Britain. Occasionally, a prisoner tried to escape, but the only place they had to go was into an early grave, because these escapees, known as bolters, lacked one basic thing. They lacked basic survival skills. Sun was their #1 enemy. Temperatures can reach upwards of 110 degrees. You can live for 30 days without food. Dehydration will kill you in 3 days. Prisoners tried to fight this by taking off their clothes, which exacerbated the dehydration process. And in spite of how arid it is out here, a lot of sources of water if you know where to look. Same with food. You've tasted some of the food from the outback. Mangrove worms, even spiny leaf insects, which are a better source of protein than the bigger lizards. You get tired of bugs and reptiles? Bats will lead you to large fruit that is colorless but edible. Birds will lead you to fruit that is pretty but inedible. Their sense of geography was so skewed that they thought China and India were just around the corner, thinking China was only 150 miles from Australia. Had they known some basic skills, they could have found their way. For example, when visible during the summer months, the Seven Sisters constellations show you which way is south. So the conditions out here were very tough, but they weren't insurmountable. Aboriginals have lived out here since 38,000 BC, which proves that people can and do learn to survive. Now we're going to see what you guys have learned. Let's play. Survivors ready for immunity. Go!
It's killing my sheep.
According to prisoners' flawed geography, what country was just 150 miles from Australia?
How long have Aboriginal people been living in Australia? 40,000 years.
During which season is the Seven Sisters constellation not visible? Summer.
To avoid dehydration from the blazing sun, it's better too. And me, Chloe. Okay. Okay, come on. Get out. What is this link for escape prisoner? Stepper. Oh no, that's wrong.
Searching for food. It's best to follow these.
Now, which is a better source of protein, insect or lizard? Insect or lizard, insect or lizard? I'm gonna go with lizards.
Death by dehydration occurs 10 times faster than death by starvation. Come on. I guess not.
Death by dehydration turns how many times faster than death by starvation? 5 times. I thought that was the wrong answer.
No country was just
To avoid dehydration from the blazing sun.
20,000 years.
to avoid dehydration from the blazing sun. Yes, 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 yes.
20 times. 10 times.
I'm searching for food.
This is not right. This is not right.
Oh, yes, come on, it's your work. I need this.
Got them all?
I don't know. 1, 2, 3.
Keith, that's just 4. Gotta have all 5 to win, bud.
3 shores in the locket.
Got them? Let me see them. That's it. Immunity. Sweet, baby. Got immunity. Call me. Today I'm going to tell you about the Samburu warrior. When a baby boy is born, his destiny is already planned. To celebrate the birth, a goat is sacrificed. The women of the tribe eat the meat of the goat because the women are the caretakers of the tribe. For the first 4 days after the birth, the mother drinks only the blood of the goat. Around the age of 9 or 10, the boy has his first rite of passage. This is the removal of his 2 bottom middle teeth, because if he were to get sick and they needed to get food or water into his body, they use the gap from the 2 missing teeth as a way to do that. It's also around this time that he begins the practice of piercing his ears. This is the first cosmetic enhancement. His next rite of passage is a circumcision, and that begins with a journey to find gum from a special tree. It could take him as long as 45 days, during which he can only subsist on the generosity of others, the food that he gets along the way. Once he's completed his mission, a date for the circumcision is set. Dates are scheduled based on the new moon. The tribe will wait for any even-numbered day of moonlight. 8th day, considered the best day. In preparation for his circumcision, shaves his head. But the most important aspect to a circumcision is the warrior's reaction. If during the circumcision he flinches in any way, he and his family are forever shaved. After 8 years of warriorship, he's eligible for marriage. Tribal custom demands that he continue to have kids until he has a boy, even if that means taking another wife and another. Last step, death. Once a warrior is close to death, he is taken into the bush with another warrior and left to die. Once he dies, fellow warriors shave their heads out of respect, and his body is left for the hyenas to eat. From birth to death, a hard life. Now we're going to see what you've learned. Grab your staffs and let's get it on. Survivors ready? Go! Make sure you close your gates.
During his long search, down to the special tree, a warrior subsists solely on food provided by others.
What happens after a warrior dies? The other warrior shaves their heads. He was taken from camp and left in a bush for the hyenas to shave his head.
Oh, hell. Well, I can cry over spilt milk. I missed it.
Frank and Lex, each with one.
What is the most important aspect of the circumcision? Finding the special thumb on the tree, the reaction of the warrior.
What must be done when a child is born? For 4 days, the mother must only drink the blood of a cow. The goat must be
Lex, Frank, and Kim Johnson all have one.
What is the best day for any ritual? Any even number day of moonlight, 8th day of moonlight, 8th day of moonlight. The reaction of the warrior.
Teresa and Kim Powers now also have one.
First act of tribal purification is removal of the 2 bottom teeth, piercing of the ear, piercing of the ear.
Lex and Frank in the lead with 2 each.
Oh, hell. That ain't right.
Can't get left in the bush for hyena's teeth. Or maybe not.
Shave his head.
Lex and Frank lead with 4. Everybody else at 3. You got it, Lex?
I dropped one.
Gotta find it, Lex. Gotta find it. Lex says he has 5, but he can't find his 5th. Get it on there, baby. Lex trying to get his in the right spot. We're still alive. Lex wins immunity again. Well, as beautiful as this place is, it is steeped in a history of violence. This area in particular was home to a legendary warrior, Kay Kahanui. He was the chief of his tribe, and he was feared among all other warriors. His body was covered in intricate Marquesian tattoos. Now, the tattooing process itself was very crude. Tattoo combs were usually made from human bone, sometimes pearl, and even occasionally animal bone. The comb was pounded into the flesh using a mallet made of ironwood. Very painful, took years. Kay Kahanui was feared in battle because he always seemed to know what his enemy was going to do. And he did this by infiltrating the tribes of his rivals and posing as an ordinary tribesman. Well, he was living with a rival tribe when he learned they planned to make war on his own tribe. Well, he didn't want to battle his own people, so he decided to fake an injury. He went down to the sea and he grabbed 2 sea urchins. He took the guts and he wrapped them around his foot with a tapa, trying to fake an injury. The smell was so bad, the trick worked. The rest of the rival tribe thought he was incapacitated. They went off to do war. As soon as they were out of sight, he stripped off the 2 urchins, disguised himself by taking his long hair and pulling it up into 2 buns, and then he grabbed his favorite weapon of choice, the war club, made of iron wood, designed to kill with a blow to the head. He knew a shortcut, he took off running. His plan was to ambush the war party, kill the chief, and then the tribe would feast on the chief, as cannibalism was a very common part of Marquesian life. It was believed that if you ate the meat of another warrior, you inherited their power. So the fleshiest part of the meat was reserved for the warrior who made the kill, and Marquesian chiefs would preside over this ceremony. And a monostone would be placed at the top of the victim's skull to capture their spirit. Well, Kay Kahanui's plan worked perfectly. Victory for Kay Kahanui. He feasted on the dead chief, and then he let his hair down and revealed his true identity to the defeated tribe. So with the power of the vanquished chief now in Kay Kahanui, legend has it, he unified the tribes. That ceremony took place on this very spot. I'll give you your necklace, we'll grab a torch, and let's do this. This is for immunity and a guaranteed spot in the final 4. Survivors ready? Go!
The meatiest part of the flesh was reserved for the warrior who made the kill. The warrior who made the kill. Where do we put our hands?
The war club was made from wood.
A Mana stone was used to crush the skull of the dead, capture the spirit of the dead warrior. Crush the skull of the dead. Oh.
Kitahanamu disguised himself for battle by gathering his hair into 2 buns, wrapping his feet with 2 sea urchins. Wrapping his feet with 2 sea urchins.
Fee and Sean have one wrong. Got to put the bone in the wok. Tattoo cones are made of pearl or human bone, but never animal bone. False.
Firewood. Yes.
The warrior's most lethal weapon in battle was the neckbreaker, the war club. The war club.
If you miss it, take your bone to the wok.
Oh my gosh.
Capture the spirit of
Lee and Kathy each have 4. It's very close.
Okay, Kia disguised himself for battle by gathering his hair into 2 buns, wrapping his feet with 2 sea urchins. Disguised himself for battle by gathering his hair into 2 buns. Okay, gathering his hair into 2 buns. Bobs. It's 5, right?
Let's see the tikis.
Oh. 1 fell off.
You've only got 4. You lost a tiki. You've only got 4. You must have lost one too. Game is still alive, guys. Make sure you hang on to your tikis. You gotta go to a new question if you can't find it. Can't go to the same question. Kathy has 5 tikis.
All right! It's so fun to win this game!
All right. Back in the 1200s, this guy, Chief Roy Mata, comes to this land, conquers it. His first goal was to bring peace by uniting all of the tribes, and he accomplished that. But sadly, the peace didn't last very long. 15 years later, Roy Mata was murdered, not by an enemy or a rival chief, but by his own brother. Now, it certainly wasn't forbidden to bury a chief on the land that he ruled, but the locals were so afraid of the power of the spirit of Roy Mata that they took the body to a remote location, and they buried him there with his 18 assistant chiefs, their wives, and all of Roy Mata's wives. Before being buried alive, the men were given a strong brew of kava, not because it was customary, but because it put them in a dreamlike, relaxed state. The women, however, were strangled to death before being buried. Once the ceremony was complete, the land was declared taboo, and nobody visited for 7 centuries. One footnote, the name Roy Mata, not a popular name today. In fact, it has never been used since. That is your story. Your challenge now to see how much of that information you retain. Here's how to work. There are 6 huts scattered in the jungle. You'll race to a hut where you'll find a puzzle. Put the puzzle together, which has the question. Read it and then choose between answer A or answer B. Attached to each answer is a bag full of tusks. Without looking, reach in and pull one out. If you're wrong, you will grab a black tusk, in which case you have to race back to the center, toss it in the urn, and return to the hut to answer the question correctly. If you're right, you'll grab a white tusk. Bring that back to your post, put it on your necklace. There are 6 huts. First person to get 5 answers correctly wins immunity. Ready to do this? Throw. Here we go. For immunity and a guaranteed spot in the final 4. Survivors ready? Go!
Okay, when Roy Mata conquered the land, what was his first goal? Make the tribes.
Eliza heads back first. He's got 1 right.
The body of Roy Mata was not buried on his homeland. Because most of them, like us, locals feared his spirit.
Chris back. He's got 1 right.
Roy Mata was poisoned by...
Here's Julie. She's got 1 right. Eliza, Chris, Julie with 1 right.
Before being buried alive, the men drank kava because it was customary.
Twyla has her first 1 right.
The wives of the assistant chiefs serving under Roy Mata are also buried alive.
Scout got it wrong. Throws it in the urn.
To this date, the name Roy Mata is never used a popular name. Never used.
Eliza heading back with her second question. Eliza in the lead with 2. Here's Julie back with another one. Chris back with his second one. Eliza extends her lead. Back with her third correct answer. Julie racing back. She's got her third. Looking for an opening hut. Chris trying to get in this. Eliza with 3. Julie with 3. Chris with 2. Eliza got her fourth one right. Julie right behind her. She has her fourth one. We're dead even between Eliza and Julie. Julie waiting on a spot from Twyla. Eliza with 4. Julie with 4. First one back with a white tusk wins immunity. Guaranteed spot in the final 4.
A flipping bear to live and drink coffee because it relaxed me. It was customary. It relaxed me.
Here comes Eliza, number 5. And with that, Eliza wins immunity. One of the most popular figures in Maya mythology is the moon goddess, Ixchel. She was also the inventor of weaving. Ixchel was married to Itzama. He was the creator of the entire Maya culture. Together they had 4 sons. They were responsible for holding up the 4 corners of the sky. But that marriage ended. Ixchel married again. This time she married the earth god, Voltan. Voltan was a human hero who had been turned into a god. But after a short while, Ixchel grew tired of that and began having an affair with the sun god. This frustrated her grandfather. He threw lightning down on her, killing her. But dragonflies sang over her body. She came back to life, went right back to the affair she was having with the sun. This lasted just a few days. She began having another affair with the sun's brother, the morning star. This devastated the sun god. He banished her from his sight forever. Today, Ixchel spends her nights alone in the sky, nursing the women of Earth through their pregnancy. As for the sun, when the sun is in sight, the moon stays hidden. That's the story. We'll draw for spots and we'll get started. Here we go, guys. For immunity. Survivors ready? Go! You get it right, you'll find a colored flag.
True Forest still had an affair with the moon star.
Lydia racing back with her first flag. Lydia first on the board.
Why did Ixchel's grandfather kill her? Because she had an affair.
Gary back with his first flag.
Ixchel had 4 children who were responsible for holding up the 4 corners of the sky. Who was their father? The creator of the Mayan culture.
Danny and Rafe racing back with their flags.
Before Ixchel's husband, Voltan, became the earth god, he was a human, an animal.
This is for immunity. Let's go. Cindy back with her first flag.
Ixchel was god of her.
Judd misses his question. Got to throw the stick in the fire before he can go back.
Ixchel, this ain't no way. Those jugs of water cause floods and rainstorms.
Stephanie misses her first question. Stephanie and Judd, the only 2 people not on the board. Lydia answers incorrectly. Rafe has his second flag, racing back. Rafe now in the lead. Gary right behind. It's Gary and Rafe, each with 2 flags. Where have I been? Where haven't I been? Confusion starting to set in already. Cindy back with her second flag. Lydia with the second flag. Steph finally on the board. Judd finally on the board.
Ixchel was the inventor of weaving.
He was a human.
Rafe back with his third flag. Gary back with his third flag. Needs 7 flags to win. 30 days out here. Don't want it to end tonight. Cindy's in it with 3 flags. Lydia wrong again.
Because she had an affair. She married Voltan.
Gary back with his 4th flag. Gary now in the lead. Cindy back with another flag. Gary and Cindy both have 4 flags. Rafe back with his 4th flag. We have 3 people now with 4 flags. Steph with her 3rd flag. Gary back with his 5th flag. Gary has not missed a question yet. Danny answers wrong. Rafe back with his 5th flag. It's Gary and Rafe with 5. Only 2 flags left. Cindy with her 5th flag. Gary, Rafe, Cindy fighting for immunity.
Ixchel was the goddess of the moon.
Here comes Gary with his 6th flag. Rafe with his 6th flag. Rafe and Gary both have 1 flag left. Both have to go to far corners of the court. They're still neck and neck. Gary and Rafe, immunity on the line.
Corners of the sky, who was the further?
She had an affair with the morning star, too.
Gary and Rafe both heading back with their last flag. It's going to be a race. Rafe back with his 7th flag. Once again, Rafe wins immunity. Okay, I'll read the story. James Cook's first voyage took him to the French Polynesian Islands. Tahiti was his destination. During this trip, Cook also mapped the entire coast of New Zealand. His second voyage, Cook found and named New Caledonia. On Cook's final voyage, He became the first European to locate the Hawaiian Islands, which he called the Sandwich Islands. This trip would be his last. Cook perished in Hawaii in 1779. Now, after hearing the story, if you are not confident that you remember all the details, each tribe has a written version on the table in front of you. Keep in mind, reading the book could cost you valuable time. For immunity and reward, survivors ready? Go! 3 tribes heading out without reading the book. Only I2 are taking the time to look through it and make sure they are right. Huge strategy move. Everybody getting up and over the log. Nobody panicking. Rero first through. Puka through. Hiki working their way through. Puka's on the course. Rero's on the course. Hiki's on the course. I2 really taking their time. Will it pay off? Puka with their first plaque. Candace with the first plaque for Rero. Hiki has their first plaque. I2, now they're out in this. Jonathan has a second plaque for Rero. Brad and Cowboy getting a plaque at the same time for Puka. They've got 3 plaques total. Candace getting their third plaque for Rero. How you going, guys?
I'm doing great, man.
Hiki, you're still in it, but you're falling behind. I2 finally on the board with their first plaque. Cowboy and Brad with 5 plaques for Puka. There are 7 plaques total. Rero with their 5th plaque.
Hold on, I'm almost there.
Jonathan gets Rero's 6th plaque. Hiki with 4 plaques. I2 with 2. Candace working on the last plaque for Rero. Puka right behind. Brad's got to get the last one. We're neck and neck, Puka and Rero. Puka has it. Let's go, Rero. Puka first on the rope bridge. Rero right behind. Hiki, you're still in it. First 3 tribes to finish win immunity. Losers going to tribal council. Puka doing a great job on the bridge. Puka and Rero fighting for reward. Hiki starting to make up some ground. I2 not panicking, but they're not moving quickly either. Here we go.
Okay. The island Cook named on his second voyage was New Caledonia. You ready?
The last island he visited was Hawaii, right?
Hope so. When Cook located the islands, he called them Sandwich Islands.
Last time he visited was Hawaii.
Right. And his final words, the last that he visited was Hawaii.
Gotta get on your mat! Puka! Win! Rero has it right! Hiki working together well. They're still in this challenge. Immunity on the line. I2 finally on the rope bridge. I2 is having a holiday. Hiki thinks they have it right. Hiki has it right. Puka, Rero, Hiki, all safe from tribal council.